Fidelis Care offers quality, affordable health coverage for children and adults of all ages and at all stages of life. Quality health coverage, it's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org. Hello everybody and welcome to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Every week at this time, we're going to take a look at our local college sports programs. We begin this week with the Honor Roll of Local College Athletes, brought to you by M&T Bank. At M&T Bank, we're listening, learning, and working hard to understand what's important to Western New York. It's what we've been doing since 1856. M&T Bank, understanding what's important. In at number 3, it's Michael Tilford. The first-year goalie for Nazareth Hockey had 25 saves and a 3-0 shutout of top-ranked Oswego in just his second career start and just a third shutout in the program's history. At number 2, it's John Decker of Geneseo Basketball, continuing to win accolades, this time being named Bill Sudak Holiday Tournament MVP for his 19-point performance, leading the Knights to the tourney title over Bethany. And topping the list is Brockport's Hannah Raybaum. She helped the Golden Eagles beat Roanoke College 69-64. Hannah scored a season-high 21 points to lead Brockport and added 7 boards. She is averaging 10.5 points in her senior year. It's time now for our local college Spotlight Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Ralph Honda. This week's Athlete of the Week brought to you by Ralph Honda, where they've been doing it right for 3 generations. Visit their new showroom or find your next car online at ralphhonda.com. We're taking a look this week at one of our favorite stories from the fall, featuring MCC's Eleni Markou. MCC women's soccer has a long history of success, and they can thank local talent for a lot of it. So it should come as no surprise that the top tribune this season is from Greece. Only thing is, it's not the Greece 15 minutes away. Instead, she's from the land of Mount Olympus and the Parthenon. Eleni Markou leads the team in scoring, even though she is thousands of miles from home.
This is a unique experience for me, totally different than I used to live back in Greece. I feel right now very confident and comfortable, but the adjustment time for me was very hard and difficult as well.
Eleni does more than just call Greece her home. She also calls it her other team. She's a member of the Greek national squad and missed some of her college season to play in the European Championship qualifiers. They didn't make the tournament, but that doesn't diminish the pride she feels every time she puts on that jersey.
It's the best experience of my life. I live right now to play for my nation. I can't even describe the feelings and how it is to be a player and to play for your country.
It's not just the numbers that she's putting up, it's her experience at the national level. She's bringing that professionalism, the soccer knowledge, and it's spreading to the team, and then that's been the most beneficial thing that all of our players have gotten from her.
To go from playing with world-class teammates to college players can create some problems. There are times she might get frustrated because her expectations are so high.
Of course, when you're talking about someone that's playing at the highest level and they come to play at a different, here in the States especially, I'm not saying at MCC, but the level's not necessarily always where you need it to be. So with that being said, yes, there's been a little bit of frustration and adjustment level.
I think in Greece we have more teams with more technical staff, but here the teams play with more physical condition. It's different for me even to play with these girls. The ages are different, the experiences are different, but I have gained a lot for this kind of option that I had. In Greece, the things are different. People there isn't very open-minded about girls of playing soccer, and this is the hard part there because we have a lot of talented players, a lot of passion, but we don't have the money and we don't have the opportunity. So that's why I'm here, because I had that opportunity to be a member of this team and to try to find my limits here.
Her teammates appreciate what she brings to the squad and how she is raising their level.
She's definitely been teaching us a lot about how to play faster and quicker with our feet. I mean, she's been a huge help to the team.
She's not only looking to help the team improve, she's always trying to make herself a better player. That says a lot about someone who is already seemingly at the top of her game, one goal at a time.
She meets one, she's like, okay, I got to do the next one. And her goal is to make it professional and keep going with the national team and win a national title here for us. And she's not stopping one bit. Her drive is second to no one.
Every day I'm trying to develop myself as hard as I can. And this is my goal, to improve myself every day at any kind of level.
3, 1, 2, 3, go! Guys, can you help with the ball?
When we return, JC DeLass welcomes RIT men's basketball coach Bob McVean into the Coach's Corner. And later on, Kim Burnson has our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave. We've got that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. As we head to break, here's a look at the Nazareth Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Nazareth College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the Geneseo Athletes of the Week, brought to you by SUNY Geneseo. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks once again for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Every week, JC DeLass from WYSL Radio is going to help us get to know an area coach better with the Fidelis Care Coach's Corner. The Fidelis Care Coach's Corner is presented by Fidelis Care, quality health coverage. It's our mission.
This is JC DeLass with this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner, and our guest this week is the head men's basketball coach at RIT, Bob McVean. Coach, you're in your 34th season here at RIT, over 500 wins. What about this place has helped you be so successful in your career?
Well, I think when I came here, and actually the 34 has gone pretty quickly. I didn't realize it was that long, but I think it's the kids. I come from a rural background, blue collar, and even though certainly the student athlete here comes from that kind of background, many of them, the hardworking kids, the nature of our curriculum here is such, and they really enjoy, and they keep me young and keep me going too. So I think just if you enjoy your work, it's not work, and that's kind of what's kept me going all these years.
You mentioned the kids. Have you had to adjust your coaching style over the years, or have you been able to keep it pretty much the same?
It's pretty much the same. A lot of coaches say that the youth of today has changed, and it is to a certain extent. But I think if you recruit good kids, they all are totally motivated, both academically, of course, here at RIT, but also athletically as well. And to be truth be known, I also get to know the parents very well. I like to find out a little bit about how they were brought up, and to be honest, that's been more of a foolproof formula for me from that.
That balance of academics and athletics, I know that is so important here at RIT and something that you've supported right from the beginning.
Certainly. In the last few years, we've changed from a trimester to a regular semester, and it's given a little bit more latitude for the kids, but it is demanding. This group had the best overall GPA that I've had in some time. And it was really, I'm proud of them, and they don't know their grades just yet, but it really shows that they have really understood what we're about, both academically and athletically.
You've had some tremendous student athletes here, and I know for you it's been just as important to stay in touch with these kids after they graduate. You have, I know, a lot of relationships with the kids who have played for you over the years.
Well, both locally, some come back with their families, and I think with the exception of maybe one or two, every 4-year player has graduated in the 34 or 33 years that we've had. And yes, they go on and have very successful careers and family, and it's really a joy when they come back. And some are here locally, but also when they come back for reunions and so forth.
Coach, what excites you every day about coming here to coach at RIT? What gets you going?
I guess the motivation of putting a team together. We're probably prejudiced about being a team sport, but in order to coordinate people and to in this day and age, to be honest, getting the selfishness out of people and to have them buy into that group and the unity and doing something together really is a challenge, but it also is the most rewarding.
Thanks for joining us, Coach.
You're very welcome.
And thank you for watching this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner.
Kim Burnson is up next with our Scholar Athletes of the Year, and later on, another one of our favorite stories, an early morning practice on the Genesee River. We'll explain that one when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. Before we go to break, here's a look at the RIT Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the Rochester Institute of Technology. As we come back from break, here's a look at the SUNY Brockport Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the College at Brockport.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave Digital Audio Visual Environments.
Where can you go to get expert advice and installation on TVs, sound systems, and automation for your home, car, or business? Come see Dave, Digital Audio Visual Environments. Come see Dave.com.
Honored as our Scholar Athlete this week is Chelsea Hayward of Roberts Wesleyan. Recently named Scholar Athlete of the Month for the Redhawks, Chelsea balances a 3.6 GPA while studying the field of nursing. She's also a standout runner in multiple events for track and field and was named Indoor Track's Co-Athlete of the Year. Nominated for her work in the classroom and on the track, this week Chelsea Hayward is our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave Digital Audio Visual Environments. Now with a look at our college calendar, here's Dave Yates.
Here's our local college calendar for the week ahead. This Tuesday, St. John Fisher basketball hosts Elmira College for Twinbill. The women play at 6 with the men's game to follow. Thursday, it's Nazareth basketball hosting Utica College. The women's game at 6 and the men at 8. Friday is a big night of hockey matchups. Nazareth plays Oswego at 7 at the Bill Gray's Iceplex. Geneseo hosts Lebanon Valley at 7. The Knights also play Stevenson on Saturday. Brockport hosts those same teams, with Stevenson playing Friday night and Lebanon Valley Saturday at 3 p.m. And finally on Saturday, track and field is back in action with Brockport, Geneseo, Fisher, and Naz all competing in Utica at the Clark Invitational. That event starts at 10 a.m. Now here's how some Section 5 alums are doing at colleges outside of Rochester. It's a segment we call Postcards from College. Anthony Lamb of Greece Athena scored a season-high 26 points versus Eastern Michigan recently, and the first-year forward is averaging just over 11 points a game. Fellow Athena grad Dion Hamilton is averaging 11.9 points per game for Damon College and shooting 49% from the field for the Wildcats. Dana Watts of Henrietta put up 41 points with 25 rebounds in 2 games for AIC in their own tournament. Dana is averaging almost 23 points a game in her sophomore year. And Spencerport's Madeline Kopp is in her senior year at Duke, where she has established herself as a top sprinter in both indoor and outdoor track, holding several individual and team records. Coming up next, our honor roll of teams, and later on, it's an early morning if you want to see a crew team practice on the Genesee. We've got that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. As we head to break, here's a look at the Roberts Wesleyan Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Roberts Wesleyan College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the St. John Fisher Athletes of the Week, brought to you by St. John Fisher College. Welcome back. Thanks once again for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Here now is our honor roll of local college teams. We start at number 3 with St. John Fisher men's basketball. Beat Colby Sawyer College 95-67 for head coach Rob Corniker's 300th career win. In 16 seasons, Corniker has a .709 winning percentage. At number 2, Roberts Wesleyan women's basketball. They beat St. Michael's 72-64 behind 2 key performances, with Brooke Fields scoring 22 and Taya Andrews adding 20 off the bench. And topping the list, the University of Rochester women's basketball team. They beat Ohio Wesleyan 71-60 to win the Bishop Classic Hoops for Hope tournament. Alexandra Leslie scored 24 points and was named the tourney MVP. And now it's time for our Spotlight Team of the Week. It was one of our favorite stories of the fall, and for the University of Rochester Crew Team, it was just another morning workout on the beautiful Genesee River. For the most part, getting up early is not something that college students are well known for. But the U of R women's crew team is an exception. They take to the water before most of their classmates have even hit the snooze button for the first time. It's something that might take some getting used to, but even when they had the chance to switch, the girls opted to keep their practices the way they are.
I actually prefer it. It's interesting enough that last year we had an opportunity to potentially practice in the afternoon. I had a show of hands and I had 2 of them say, yeah, let's go afternoon. So I think they get used to the lifestyle, so they get used to being morning people. So they're kind of like, my day is set, I'm ready to go. Once practice is over, I don't have to worry about that coming at me.
It really helped to get me used to the college schedule, though. I'm probably the only college student that goes to bed at 9, but it sure helps with studying and making sure I get everything done. I'm glad I did it.
Aside from being an early riser, to be good at crew, it takes a lot of skills and abilities that other sports develop, which is good because a lot of the girls are getting into the boat for the first time when they get to college.
It's an odd combination of being a team sport and an individual sport. You have to push yourself in the seat, but you also have to line up with the other girls in the boat. So it's, for someone who is a runner like me, to go into being a team sport, it was a great transition.
Teamwork and making sure it's completely selfless teamwork. I think rowing is one of the most selfless forms of teamwork that there is. I mean, you're only as strong as your weakest rower, whereas on a team like soccer or football, you've got second strings, third strings. We don't really have that in a boat. You can't just sub someone in the middle of a race or something like that. Yeah.
Ladies, I'm going to give you're going to get 5 strokes to build, then I want you to push start. 5th stroke, that's when I want you to hit start, okay?
You said it's already in the speed coach? Okay, middle pair out.
Just as long as the 2 of you...
Jade is a coxswain. She's pretty much the captain of the boat. It might look like she's just sitting there and yelling at her team, but there's a lot more going on than you might know, controlling the boat and the crew, something that can almost be overwhelming.
You're looking at rates, you're looking at times, splits, the amount of strokes you're taking, and on top of that, there is a lot of steering that goes into it. I think that was my biggest issue going into the sport, was knowing how to steer and do it well. And when we come to races, you have to know your events, the boats before you, the time you have to launch, all of that fun stuff. Yeah.
On race day, I can't communicate with them. Coaches aren't allowed to have anything, so that's the person out there that becomes the coach. So they're steering the boat. Right, they're calling the race plan. They're having to adapt as things change in the race plan. You know, we'll give them a plan, and 9 times out of 10, something else happens. They've got to react to it. They got to be able to pull that together, and then they've got 8 athletes that they've got to motivate to get down a race course and put everything into it when they're just sitting there. You know, so how they have a special bond with their rowers, you know. So even during the winter workouts, they come out and they'll do the workouts with the rowers just to show them that, you know, they want to keep up with it so that they all trust each other, they all bond with each other.
There are actually 2 seasons for crew. This time of year, they are doing distance races, while in the spring, they do sprints. Jade doesn't hesitate when you ask her which one she favors.
I prefer the spring, mainly because sprints it was my first season in high school. We didn't have fall when I started, and there's less steering involved, so I can focus more on my rowers and less on making sure that I'm not about to hit anyone, which I like a lot better.
First one, let's keep it down about 22. Okay, 22 for 22 strokes, so for a minute, okay, on my call.
Because in sprint racing, you got 6 lanes wide, everybody's racing each other, and there's all this noise, all this commotion, and keeping the crew focused and making sure we're just worrying about what we're trying to do and not somebody else.
There are some other benefits to getting up so early in the morning. The scenery along the Genesee can be beautiful. Rowing returns in the spring once the river thaws out. Can't wait for it. Thanks everybody for watching.
And a special thanks to our sponsors, including Fidelis Care, for making the College Sports Beat possible.
We'll see you back here next week.